Necesitar, to need. Necesitar, to need. If you notice, this does not have a person. It just says to need. So we don't know who needs. If we just say necesitar and we end it with AR, we don't know who needs. So what you have to do is you take this underlined part and you put that all in your boxes. And then we're going to go back and we're going to change this AR. It's in that box. We're going to change that AR to different endings, just like we did with puedo and puedes and puede. We're going to change that so that it tells me who needs. So they're very similar to puedo, puedes, puede, podemos, and pueden. It's just this time they're going to change just a little bit. This one still ends in O, necesito, just like you learned in the song, necesito. This one still ends in S, but instead of ES, we're changing it to AS, necesitas, as. Can you guess what the next one is? Remember what we did on puedo, puedes, puede. Puedes, we dropped the S. And that's all you're going to do here is drop the S. It's going to become necesita. Okay? Then we'll go up to the top right where we live. And do you remember what I told you about podemos? Mos always represents we. So we're instead of hemos, this one's going to be amos. Nosotros necesitamos. And then down at the bottom right, remember we had AS and then we dropped the S, we added a mos, and if we added in necesitan, then that becomes they need or you all need. So it's a very similar pattern, but since this verb originally ended in AR, it's going to change just a little bit from puedo, puedes, puede, podemos, pueden, and it's going to end in o, as, a, amos, an. The people are still the same. They still live in the same boxes, so you still know who needs by simply knowing where people live. Okay? And also you can still use the pronouns or don't use the pronouns. We can put yo necesito, and it still means I need. If we take the yo off and we simply say necesito, it still means I need. In Spanish, the pronouns are optional. Okay, can you remember the pronoun that goes with necesitas? Who lives in that box? Tú. Tú necesitas. Who lives in the bottom box? 3 people live down there. So necesita can mean 3 things. It can mean you need, he needs, she needs. Usted, él, ella. Do you remember which one of those? You is formal. You need. If you're talking to your teacher and you say you need, that would be formal. Would you use tú necesitas or usted necesita? Correct. Usted necesita. Okay, move over to the top right. Move over to the we. We need, necesitamos. It's completely fine. You can simply say necesitamos. Or you can add nosotros necesitamos or nosotras necesitamos. Okay? Go to the bottom right. Think about who lives down there. You all and they. So necesitan can mean you all need or it can mean they need. When I put a pronoun in front of it, then it limits it. So if I say ustedes necesitan, it only means you all need. Ellos necesitan, now it only means they need. Okay, clase, let's do this one more time. Necesitar ends in AR. We're simply going to take all of the, what I call the stem of the verb, it's the underlined part, everything but the AR, And we would put that in our chart, and then we would change those endings. Can you remember what goes in the first one? Necesito, necesitas, necesita, and up in the top right, we necesitamos, necesitan. Let's review your pronouns. What goes with necesito? Yo necesito. Make sure you're repeating these with me. Okay, it's good to hear them, but you do have to practice them. Okay, what goes with necesitas? Tú necesitas. Y necesita, what goes with necesita? Usted, él, or ella. Necesitamos. We need. We have an option. We can put our pronouns, which are nosotros, nosotras. So you can say nosotros necesitamos, nosotras necesitamos. And down at the bottom right, you have your pronouns you could use if you want to. This is the plural of usted, which is ustedes, plural of él, ellos, and the plural of ella, that says ellos. Typo, sorry. Ellas.